It is Friday night. Where else would you rather be than right here in Denver? SFL Nation, what up, though? On this Friday evening, we have the 5-5 Florida Storm traveling to Denver to take on these Night Wings in Richard L. Snowden Stadium. Yo, alongside myself, I got no other than a Hall of Fame offensive coordinator. At least he should be, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But hey, what's going on, y'all? I got Cam over there in the production booth. I got what's my man name? Just drawing a blank. Justin Rosario running the stats all by himself. Yo, what do you think needs to happen tonight for these both teams to compete tonight?
Well, hello everybody. Eddie, great to be here with you, man. We've been in the league together for a long time. I've never had a chance to sit down beside you and watch a game like this. This is a game between two of the SFL's heavy hitters, former champions both, looking to return to that glory. This game's going to impact Florida more than Denver when it comes to playoffs, but still playoff positioning for a Denver Night Wings team who has already clinched a playoff spot.
It's a playoff spot, but looking to solidify that position as they get the ball first out on offense and they kneel inside the end zones. They're going to start the game off at the 20. Let's go over the starting offense for the Denver White Wings. You got quarterback Trellis Blanton, tailback Jeremy Mosley and Bailey O'Shaughnessy, fullback R.E. Mills, wide receivers Dylan Lewis, Jay Viper, Michael Goodman, Logan Keel, and tight end Mike Klinex. And we go over that offensive line here in just a moment. Triple set, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end at the 20-yard line. Going to hand the ball off right up the gut to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who picks up 4.
Yeah, and O'Shaughnessy is really at the heart and the engine of really what makes this offense go. One of the best offenses, specifically over the last 5 weeks. Eddie, this team has averaged 34.2 points per game over the last 5 games.
And Bailey is a big reason behind that. And they're going to give the ball off this time to R.E. Mills, who picks up Jeremy Mosley coming out of the backfield. He's lined up all over the place in his career, former tight end, former wide receiver, and now he's playing tailback here for the Night Wings.
Yeah, you got to like that flexibility, and they love this 1-2 punch here in Denver with Mosley not having the yardage that O'Shaughnessy has, but the touchdowns, got 5 of them.
3rd and short, they give the ball back to their tailback, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who picks up the first down rather easily. Let's go to the rest of their offensive line here for Denver. Jay Benazzi, former Scorpion, but decided to come back home and play for these Night Wings to finish out his career. Tackle, Kiera Cool. Then you got the guard, Marcelo Martin, in the center, taking snaps for the quarterback, D'Angelo De Jesus.
And the big uglies up front there, the main reason why O'Shaughnessy currently leads the SFL with nearly 1,000 rushing yards.
Absolutely. This time going to get the ball off to Jerry Mosley, who's going to make a man miss and running down the left far sideline before picking up a big first down, a big chunk of running yards there of about 20 for the tailback.
Well, Eddie, who needs a passing game? We haven't seen a single pass so far on this series when the running game works so well. And when you've got the 1-2 punch that Denver has, right? And then you're getting maybe the guy that you considered your second running back busting out runs like that. Oh, boy, as a Florida defense, it might be a very long night for you guys if they're able to run that successfully and that clean this early.
Flip the field, ball spotted on Florida's 38-yard line. Going to be a double set. Strong power, but forced to cut back inside and before being tackled and knocked down there for a gain of about a yard. Let's go over this Florida defense. You got up front Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tamaliello, Pete Mitchell, and you got linebackers Ryan Tobin, Jesus Smith, and we go over that secondary in a moment. Going to be another strong power run. This time Florida starting to stiff out this running game. Going to be a loss probably on that play. Going to set up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, and this is, look, and then Denver's been as equally good in the passing game as they have been running the ball, but certainly running is where they make their bread. But here on a critical 3rd down, this is when you rely on your passing game to get you past these kind of obstacles.
Trellis Blanton with his first passing attempt of the day. Big 7-step drop, gets the ball out, and that ball is batted away by the Florida defense. But hold on, there's a flag on the play. Oh, they're going to call pass interference on the Florida defense. Wow, I did not see it. Let's see if we get to look at the replay, but nonetheless, it's going to move the change here for this Denver Nightwings offense.
Yeah, and I thought, well, I don't see very much contact there at all. I actually thought the receiver did an excellent job of shielding the ball away from the defenders and giving his quarterback an opportunity to get it into an actual open window. I just didn't think they connected. But you know what? The call goes for Denver at home, getting that home cooking early here, Eddie.
Ryan Davison caught on that penalty. Bunt set here for Denver. 3-step drop. Surveys the defense. Boy, gets it out. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. 2nd and short.
And you've got to like that. Look, they've established the running game early on this series. Now they're going to their passing game, even in on a first down, to kind of mix things up, keep this defense honest.
Our Joker set 2 tight ends versus this 4-3 defense. 2nd and short. Going to give the ball right up the A gap to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who picks up the first down to carry at 3 yards.
And just the balance that we're seeing, Eddie, in this early series. I mean, good night. It's running to perfection like clockwork. Probably exactly the kind of opening to a game Denver wanted here at home.
Bunt set. Got the diamond here on the near side of the field versus man defense. How about Florida? Oh, wow, look at that. Tackle in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards on the play. Jeremy Mosley, you're going nowhere.
Well, talk about read and recognition. That deserves a replay right there. That was an amazing read and recognition there by Alexandro Tomalo. But that's the kind of play they're going to need here to stack the yards against Denver.
Quick 3-step drop again, a bang play, nothing to do, but there's another flag on the play.
Ooh.
Oh, and again, 2nd penalty, pass interference, going to be called on Florida, going to set the ball up for Denver. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Wow, I mean, look, it's already a monumental task to come in here to Denver with this crowd and their record. They're secured their playoff spot, to come in here and try to win a game against Denver, much less the officials.
Looking at that replay, I did not see the penalty. It looked clean to me. Going to be a give up the C gap and trying to work his way through traffic. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, 2nd and goal at about the 2-yard line.
This defense, it's a legendary defense in Florida. It has been for a very long time. You kind of felt it right there. There was an opportunity that maybe Florida, as this field condenses in the red zone, they have an opportunity to make a change here in momentum. But then, man, those penalties have just really hurt them.
R.A. Mills goes in motion. He follows his fullback. Can he get to the end zone? Yes, he does. Touchdown. Denver strikes first.
And you could just read the writing was on the wall, right, Eddie? I mean, this an offense that just was clicking with the help of some mistakes by Florida's defense. But they, even without those, it felt like they were destined to march down the field and get in the end zone.
Jimmy Mosley picking up his 6th rushing touchdown on the season. Denver off to a great start versus this Florida defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, I mean, if you're a Nightwings fan, this is just the perfect opening to this game against, again, legendary Florida Storm team that has struggled so far this season. Yet, with a win tonight, the Florida Storm can win their division and a playoff spot. Now, even if they don't win tonight, a Carolina loss this weekend will also secure that for them. So there's definitely some major investment in this game for Florida. As you mentioned, Denver already in the playoffs, already have clinched. 2nd season in a row to clinch, get them a playoff spot. But an opportunity for them to adjust their positioning to maybe get them and win them a home game or 2 in the playoffs.
Florida giving up 29.5 points on a game on the road this season, uncharacteristic of them. They're going to clean that up. They're going to win this game versus Denver here on the road. And here's Denver coming out on the first play of the game on defense. Look at all these men in the box. Cover 1. They're bringing the pressure. Florida's going to hand the ball off to Chris Comisac, who goes absolutely nowhere. They're going to give him a yard, a generous spot there before being tackled on the play by Chuck Diesel.
Eddie, you mentioned all the defenders in the box. One of the things that we talked about in pregame was, Denver planning to probably try to stop that very effective run game combined with that short passing game. Might be the reason why they've stacked the box so much.
They're stacking it again, bringing pressure. Gets it out, does Isaac Covert, and he finds, guess who? His big tight end on the play. Picks up about 7 yards. Going to be set up a 3rd down and 2. Ron Haynes with the reception. Let's go over this Florida Storm offense. You got quarterback Isaac Covert, one of the league leaders in completion percentage this season. Bullet Bolesky and Chris Komasak in the backfield. You got wide receivers Art Vanderlei, Mike Quinscrew, Shea Carroll, and Ron Haynes. And we get to the offensive line here in a moment. Split jokers on 3rd down and 2. Denver's back in the box. They're going to get it out to his wide receiver Art Vanderlei out the backfield. There's no way they can keep up with him. And hold on, we got a man down. Oh, and for Denver, already starting out this game with a player down. That's going to be their linebacker, Jimmy Burkett. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, that's, oh, wow, what an impact that's going to make on this defense. And, man, you know, they've got 4 linebackers that are stars really on this Denver defense that should be able to step up. But still, I mean, when you lose a starter like that, you just don't know how that's going to affect the game.
Denver playing a lot of man defense here early on. Quick 3-step drop, and that ball is picked off and going the other way. Luis Quintana with the interception, and Denver set up here in prime scoring territory here early on.
Eddie, you said it. You know, this is a team that wants to stop this passer. They've stacked the box, but I just don't think Covert saw him there. And again, that 1-step drop means the quarterback has to make a very quick decision. And he was going there on a 9 route to his receiver, and I just think he completely missed the defender there. And Quintana comes away with yet another interception.
Double set, 3 wide receivers and a tight end off to his left. That's Mike Connect lined up at tight end. Going to be a handoff this time to the weak side, but going absolutely nowhere. And this Florida run defense has tightened up after that showing that Denver had early on.
Yeah, and look, that's the thing about a running game here in the SFL. It's an investment. Like, it's not always, especially at the beginning of the game when the defense is fresh, it's not always going to pay off. But if you stick with it and you can grind down that opposing defense, it can pay big dividends for you later in the game.
Mike Connect with a lot of green grass versus this off-pressure look, but they're going to go away from him, stick with that running game. Picks up about 5 yards on the play, 3rd down and 6.
And we're seeing a lot of Mosley in this game early on. And, you know, I think they like his combination of speed and power. You know, a lot of times when he's running the ball, he's looking to square up on defenders. Like, he's not looking to run it out of bounds.
One set here by Denver. Both teams showing that it's a rollout. And finds his receiver for a 1st down and more. Spotted at about the 15-yard line is Jay Viper.
Oh, Jay Viper, big hero in their previous overtime win against Minnesota. Came up big in overtime. I don't know if you remember that, Eddie, but I love this play. I love throwing in the rollouts here for these SFL quarterbacks. Get them away from that pressure and allow those receiver routes to develop. And Viper there having that drag route way across the field, starts on one end, ends up on the other end, and the only reason he has time to do that because of Blanton's rollout.
Spotted at the 19-yard line, triple set. Once again, strong power, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy makes some man miss before finally being shoved out of bounds for another 1st down for Denver.
Both of these running backs this morning when they woke up, they chose violence. I mean, these guys are putting some hits on these defenders, and it is getting them those extra yards. I always say this, that if you're able to break that first tackle as a running back, it always means good things for you. It may be an extra yard or 2. It may be a touchdown, but it's always going to give you that positive play. If you've got a back as talented as these two that can break that first initial tackle attempt.
Absolutely. Here's that power play again, but Florida right back to it, picking things up right where they left off a moment ago. And I remember this young man, Tommy Yellow. He was drafted at the season 14 draft when we had the draft out in Boston, and he was a steal for Florida, failed late in the draft, but he's been with them ever since.
Gotta love that loyalty.
Absolutely. Our Joker said going to go attack the C gap this time, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy picks up about 4 yards before finally being tackled at about the 3.
O'Shaughnessy just doing a good job of staying patient, getting behind his blocker, and then really making a split decision on what to do once that first initial block is hit. But wasn't able to get a lot of yardage, but probably more than he would otherwise.
Treller's going to step back, finds a man. That's his tight end at about, that's his wide receiver, Logan Keel. Going to be brought down, and unfortunately, they're going to fall short of the end zone, and Denver have to settle for a chip shot field goal.
Yeah, that's an absolute win for the Florida Store defense. And at this point in the game, you take every win that you can get.
Considering where this drive started, it's absolutely a win for the defense. Kick is up and right down the middle. Denver scores to take a 10-0 lead.
Now coming back, Florida's offense, you're the young quarterback, Isaac Covert, got to have a bit of amnesia about what happened on the previous drive. Just reset yourself. Your offense is stacked with talented, veteran offensive playmakers. You know this. You've played with them all season. Now you can kind of rely on them, get you back in this game when you're down 10 to a playoff team in their house.
Florida down 10, you're right, in Denver. Not a good start for them, but hopefully, if you're a Florida fan, they can right the ship. Plenty of time left. Double set, 3 wide receivers and a tight end off to his right. Drive starting off at the 27-yard line. Going to send Ron Haynes in motion to the far side of the field. Going to be a toss out to that side. Chris Comasack makes a man miss before finally being shoved out of bounds after a gain of about a yard.
You know, this season has been a struggle for Florida, who's been a storied franchise in the SFL for a very long time. But it feels like this season almost is a revenge season in the sense that everybody really had knocked them early on this season. And now they're 1 win away here, locking up their division.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Ace trip set, and look at Denver stacking the box. If this play is what I think it is, they better bring the man down. Oh, and it's caught in heavy traffic. They went to the other side. There is Ron Haynes, and you're right, that play is in the playbook this week, and Denver, should they continue to give this look, can pay dividends for Florida, so they will go to the other side of the field.
I have absolutely no idea how he caught that ball between two defenders like that. And that's just one of my favorite players in the league doing his thing, is Ron Haynes, and that's the undefensible factor of a guy like him.
Cover 0, they bring in pressure right out the gut. 3-step drop, gets it out, and catch and run situation, and he is off to the races. Can they catch him before finally being brought down at the 10-yard line? Mike Twinscrew, their team's leading receiver, with the big reception.
Eddie, you know this more than most. You're the defensive girl in this league. If you stack that box the way that Denver has been, which has been so successful early on, and a guy can get away like Twinscrew can, has got the kind of jets that he does, one missed opportunity or tackle means that nobody's back there to stop him.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of 1, Denver leads it 10-0, but Florida is driving inside the SFL red zone. You know, I was talking to Denver's defensive coordinator, Jimmy Hatsis, and I asked him for his game plan. He said he knows that Florida likes to throw quick throws, and they do, but this is not the game plan I anticipated defensively when he said he had plans on taking that away. I flip spread, and going to be a toss out to the strong side before finally being brought down at the gain of 4 yards is the fullback, Chris Comasack.
Now, you met Hatsis at the convention, right, Eddie?
Yes.
You met him, and from what I've heard, I wasn't at the convention, but the thing that I take away when you mentioned his name was the simple fact, I think he has great hair, so it's ironic that a guy with so great hair.
Look out.
Sack.
Man down. Isaac Covert takes the sack there from Denver. That was John Martin with the sack.
Sorry, I got lost in my own hair story, but I don't want to overtake what a great defensive play that was.
It was 3rd down and goal at about the 6-yard line. Split spread. First time we've seen this look today. 5-step drop there by Isaac Covert. Serves the defense, throws to the back of the end zone, and lucky that ball was not intercepted. Looking for Shea Carroll, but Denver had other ideas.
Well, when you're this close to the end zone, it's a natural stacked box, right, Eddie? I mean, there's so many defenders that are back there that it is hard to try to penetrate this and pass the ball. That's why it's so important to be able to successfully run the ball when you're this close.
Tank Bennett with the deflection. He's known for having 100+ tackles in the SFL's previous era, but this time showing off his coverage skills in the box.
Yeah, it's just, you have to thread the needle oftentimes as an SFL quarterback when you're just that close to the goal line. And there's a lot of traffic in front of you as well that you have to navigate too. So, yeah, just not able to complete that, but still, again, able to get points on the board, start to bend that momentum a little bit.
Ethan Keels remains perfect on the season. That was his 14th field goal attempt this season. Denver now with the ball back at the 27-yard line. 9:04 left here in the second quarter, excuse me.
And that first series was a nice mix of both run and pass, but really successful on the ground. Let's see if Florida is able to step up and maybe halt that and force Denver to go to their air game.
Now, Florida is stacking the box here, cover zero look. They're bringing at least 2. They're going to hand this ball off on that power play up to the near side. Going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. They're going to give them. Didn't see who that was, but that secondary player just got punished there by Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, that should not have been a gain of 3. That should have been a gain of 0. And O'Shaughnessy just simply with his power alone able to push the tacklers back.
Florida continues to stack the box. This time Denver's run game picks up about 2 yards before finally being brought down and tackled by Andrew Francis.
Well, as an offensive coordinator, I think this is where your bread and butter is. What kind of, look, you've got the option to run here. You've got the option to pass here, but converting these third downs is critical to moving those chains. It's critical to having any kind of success here in the SFL.
Florida brings pressure, but Denver beats it for completion of a first down there. Logan Keel with the reception.
Yeah, and just a nice job there on what it looked to be a dig route there. And good job by the veteran, Logan Keel, knowing where the first down marker was and getting past that. I hate when we throw before the first down marker on third down and rely on the player themselves to try to break a tackle to get past the first down marker.
Both teams playing a lot of man defense here early on. Denver sticking with this run game, going to run it right up to the side of the center, picks up about 2 yards before being brought down. It's Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
As a running back, it must be terrible to see the offensive line open up a hole for you to go through, and then you've got Ryan Tobin and Jesus Smith standing there waiting for you as if it was some kind of a appointment, almost like a catfish situation. You think you got an opportunity, and it's not there. There's 2 guys waiting for you there.
Love that analogy. This time, Florida showing a zone look there, but Denver unable to take advantage of it. Picks up 2 yards, going to set up a 3rd and 6.
Well, Florida's making him grind it out this series, as in in previous series, they just marched down the field. Denver did everything and anything they wanted to do, seemingly on the first series of this game. Suddenly, this Florida defense come to life here.
Man defense here on 3rd and 6. Ooh. Look out, pressure in his face, and he goes down as they brought the pressure. But unfortunately for Denver, Trellis Blanton goes down, results in a sack. Daniel Wright brings him down, and Florida's going to get the ball back.
And Blanton just holding that ball. I mean, you might want to call that also a coverage sack because he just couldn't find anyone open down the field. But there was a plethora of defenders seemingly looked unblocked running towards you as an SFL quarterback. You got to be able to either get out of that pocket, run, or throw the ball away.
That play was actually designed very well as Florida brought a linebacker and a safety on the blitz. So Florida's going to field this ball and return it out to the 32-yard line is Art Vanderlei. We saw Art Vanderlei earlier in the game. He's showing his versatility. Here he's returning punts. Earlier we saw him line up as a receiver, and he also caught a pass out of the backfield, line up as a tailback. I mean, he's just a jack of all trades.
Right, in baseball they call that a utility player. I mean, a guy that can fill multiple roles for you. That is the very definition of what that is in the SFL is Art Vanderlei. He'll get you a lot of different ways through the air, on the run, but they'd love to put him specific in the offense. They'd love to put him in the backfield and not just run the ball at times, but mainly throw to it.
Blitz spread look, and they give the ball to the tailback, but he goes absolutely nowhere. Was Bullet Bolesky. Lost a yard on the play.
Excuse me, but going back to Vandelay, big part, Eddie, big part of their last championship game.
Yes.
So, I mean, his ability out of the backfield was really, I think, the difference maker against the Canton team that was dominant that season.
I had him paid as the MVP of that game. Gonna send Art Vandelay in motion here on 2nd and 11. Quick step drop, throws the ball down the middle of the field, and lucky that ball was not intercepted as there was traffic everywhere. And Louis Quintana again had an interception early in this ball game. And here he comes up with a pass deflection.
And these linebackers, you know, since we started in the 2K4 era, these linebackers, I think, have just gotten better every season when it comes to coverage. And more we're seeing those interception totals come up as we really get some real athletes in those positions.
Kawhi's look, first time we've seen this today. Play action, throws the ball with confidence, but that ball is tipped up and batted away by this Denver secondary. They're doing a great job out here containing this Florida offense. Ted Haynes with the deflection.
Yeah, and what an athletic play by Haynes. I mean, I think he just got maybe not even a fingertip, maybe a fingernail on that ball, hand outstretched, but still able to do a great job with that pass deflection.
Only 6 feet tall, but able to get up there in sky to bring that one back to the turf unscathed. And Denver's going to get the ball back with about 5:24 left in this game. Can they close this first half out with a scoring drive?
I know it's only the second quarter, but heading towards halftime here very quickly. This game's really going fast. I think it's going to be key for this Florida defense here to try to keep themselves within arm's length of a really hot Denver team of getting a stop here.
High spread look, and they bring the blitz. I think there was weak blast 3 Florida just called right there, trying to confuse the quarterback. It's not always easy to read a blitz out of a zone look. They did it, but Denver's Trellis Blanton just reads the coverage, finds his man in a tight window, and gets a big first down. Dylan Lewis with his first reception of the game.
I love you so much, bro. I love it when you call out the play, bro. You just got a flash for just a second of what that play was, and then suddenly you already know what the name of it is, dude. That's so cool.
I love this league, brother. What can I say? Bailey O'Shaughnessy makes 2-man miss before finally picking up 5 yards. And this is the way Denver likes to control tempo. They feed you a constant run game. Every now and again, they throw in a wrinkle, a pass, something short, something intermediate, and occasionally deep. They remind me of Florida back in the Alaska Storm days. The way they just grind you down with that offense.
That's a huge compliment.
Jimmy Mosley with the carry picks up 2 yards, set up a 3rd down and 3. Yeah, they were in a few old school type offenses here left in the SFL, and I love watching them each and every week.
And so balanced in this game. And look, it's not only about wanting to do something, it's about the ability to do something. So you've got some amazing coaches here finding the right place for their players.
Our pro said he buys time by scrambling outside the pocket before finding his receiver for a big 3rd down reception. Michael Goodman moving the chains.
And Blanton very comfortable in the pocket despite having to move to buy his receiver time to get open. Didn't panic, didn't scramble with the ball, was able to just make some steps to his right and that was just enough to give his offensive line a little bit more time and the receiver a little bit more time to make that play happen. Now in field goal range.
DB's playing back, and Trellis has no problem taking what they give him, finding his tight end out there on the flat for a pickup of 6.
Yeah, you know, that tight end probably wishing he had a little bit more looks and maybe taking that out on the defender. It's tough when you're on a talented team like this. I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed for Blanton, and you can't make everybody happy. But look, what does actually make everybody is that win total. If you get that win total going, everybody's all right.
That's right. Look at that power play. The guard pull, Bailey O'Shaughnessy with a clear running lane. There was no one for the guard to block, and it's an easy first down here for Denver.
And they make it look so easy, which is not fair, because for most SFL teams, it doesn't come this easy. But there's just a great balance on this roster of talent and coaching talent.
And he scores. Oh, wow. Mike Klinect ball thrown right down the seam as the pressure was starting to get to Trellis, but he kept his head downfield, kept his eyes on the prize, and Denver extends this lead.
Blanton feeling the pressure coming from his backside, able to get it to his security blanket, just running a post right down the middle of the field. Man, the tight end, what focus to bring that in despite two defenders right around him, able to bring that in. And then, of course, the big, powerful specimen of a tight end is able to lean out and lead forward to get that extra yard for the touchdown.
Extra point is up and good. Denver up big here at home versus Florida, 17-3.
And doesn't it just hit different, right, Eddie? Like I was saying, I just didn't think Florida could afford to let them score here right before halftime, because 17-3 just feels like it's such a big mountain to climb.
Yeah.
But look, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So Florida, they've got to come out here. I think it's important that they get some points on the board here before the end of the first half. So it'll give them some kind of momentum going into halftime. And we know, we've seen SFL teams at halftime. They put in some changes, and suddenly it's an entirely different look from the opposing team. And it's a new ball game sometimes at halftime. So
cover zero again. Let's see if they run that play I was speaking of earlier. They are running it, and there it is. Oh, but he got bumped. But I think that was a good no call there by the officiating crew, because there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, if you're a Florida Storm fan, though, you're yelling, wait, what? Yeah, we saw those two calls earlier against our team on that first drive, get them in the end zone, and then we see that possibly route impedance, I guess is what it would be best called.
Yeah.
And nothing. Where are the whistles at?
I spread. Here comes another zone blitz. But his offensive line holds up, but our Vandalay is unable to reel in the pass. Bang, bang play. Great job by Denver's defense. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Overt identified it right, one-on-one with you, maybe arguably your best player. That's I mean, you take that all day, put that 50-50 ball up, and know, trust your guy to come down with it. Just a better play by the defender.
3rd down and 10, bunt set. 3 receivers lined up top. Time runs out. He gets the ball out and finds his receiver for a catch and run situation before finally being brought down by Tank Bennett. Talking about him a moment ago, but this time he gives up a big one.
Yeah, and it's Shea Carroll got the wheels out there. Look, and one of the big things that you mentioned now, the catch and run. And the only reason why Carroll's able to take off and run with that ball, because it's a perfect pass.
Perfect pass.
That Shea doesn't have to outreach for or drop back for. It just goes right with just connects with him right where he needs it to be accuracy-wise.
Our Twins look. This time, Denver's playing a cover 1. No, excuse me, it's cover 0. They're going to run the ball up the gut, picks up about 2, and I would have loved to see Isaac call an audible on that play to something short and quick. But that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. All you, my friend.
Oh, no, hey, sorry, I didn't realize it was a 2-minute warning. I was just saying, you know it better than most that sometimes you come in with a game plan, you just stick with it, because that's what you've planned out and studied for all week, and sometimes it just doesn't work out in the game the way you want it to.
Ace look, 4-4 defense here. Got Tank Bennett in the box, lined up 1 yard off the line of scrimmage. Watch out for him. Is he gonna blitz? No, he does. He's gonna play back. And Isaac Covert finds his receiver for a big 1st down. Art Vandalay with the reception.
Yeah, and these quarterbacks, when we've seen that rollout, it's been pretty successful so far tonight, although it's been very rare so far. But again, getting the pressure away from the quarterback and allowing time for those receivers to complete routes just like that. And now we're knocking on the door of field goal range, and some very important points for Florida if they can get it before halftime.
Denver scored another cover 1 look. They're going to bring pressure again. They're going to bring it up the gut. Florida tries to run outside around the blitz, but Denver's defense corrals them after a gain of 2.
Justin in the stat truck wanted us to be sure to say, to notice Burgett is back on the field here for Denver.
And look at that. That's about as wide open as we've seen a Florida receiver today. And they're going to call that first time out after that 1st down reception. Yo, everybody, like this video. I'll say it again. Like this video. Please support a hard-working crew by smashing the like button, subscribing, and commenting on this video. It really helps the channel out. Turn on the notifications so you will never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. Thank you for the support of the Virtual Football Network and the SFL. I spread look, gonna send a man in motion to the far side of the field. They're showing blitz again. They bring it. 5-step drop, throws the ball down the middle field, and Art Vanderlei is blasted by this Denver defense. No chance he had an opportunity to bring that one in. As soon as he caught it, he was hit and reminded that, hey, bro, this is the SFL. I know you coach down there in the minor leagues, but here in the pros, you're not going to have that kind of time to bring in that reception.
Yeah, Covert not doing his receiver Vanderlei any favors, laying up like that.
5-step drop. Covert, again, this time finds a wide open receiver. Does he get in? No, he's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line, and Florida's going to call their second timeout. That one was brought in by big tight end Ron Haynes. Another Mr. Do-it-yourself toolkit. Tight end, does stats, does graphics, does videos. He does it all for the SFL. Pay that man.
He'll be running the league next season.
There you go. Ace trips, look, 2 tight ends on the field, gonna get the ball out quick, and that ball is almost intercepted. And going back the other way, Denver had an opportunity there for a pick 6, but Chuck Diesel couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, Diesel. I think Diesel was imagining himself dieseling down the field for a pick 6, like James Farrier back in the day with the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
There you go. Versus the Cardinals. I'll never forget that one. Ace trips again, another 3-step drop, gets the ball out, and whoa, Chris Comasack didn't stand a chance. Florida's got to burn their last time out, and then look at that ball was not intercepted.
Yeah, what we're looking at is Covert with these 1-step drops is just having to make really quick decisions, and I think that it's not advantageous for him this close to the goal line.
Gun triple left. Gonna send Ron Haynes in motion. Listen to this crowd up on their feet, trying to motivate this defense to give him one more play. Can they get it? Isaac surveys the defense, get the ball out to a wide open Chris Comasack, who walks into the end zone for a touchdown.
Eddie, I think this is all about the shotgun formation. That ability for the quarterback to have just an extra second or two to evaluate his options on the field and spot Comasack, his trusty fullback, wide open out there with nobody covering him. It was that just little extra bit of time that allowed him to score that touchdown with relative ease.
Was actually bullet on a touchdown grab, excuse me, but nonetheless, Florida just alternating the playbook a little bit, just digging deep down and saying, hey, we got to find our quarterback some time because these looks Denver were giving us were not advantageous for us. So they alternated the playbook a bit, got him some time, got his man out in space, and cut this lead down to a single score. Denver gonna field this ball at about the 7. The wind must be blowing because he got it fielded, and look out down the near sideline. Can he go? Does he get the angle? No, he does not. Logan Keel finally brought down at about the 20-yard line. And I hate to take y'all away from the action right now after that great return, but Cam, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Eddie. Well, the Detroit Maulers have not figured out how to stop the Ivory Irvin show. Ivory Irvin dominating once again as Baltimore will not go quietly into the good night. They are rolling Detroit in the Maulers' final regular season game. Detroit 6-5, trying to clinch a playoff spot. They're down 28-7 in the third. Back to you.
Well, that's a game that Detroit Maulers really need, but nonetheless, proud of their efforts this season. Most games they've won as a franchise ever, so no matter how the season ends for them, it's going to be a good showing for them. Here, 36 seconds left. Does Denver take advantage of this great starting field position? They're going to throw the ball downfield and finds a wide open receiver down the far sideline. And they now burn a timeout here inside the 10.
What a way to react. The huge kickoff return. That play over 2 defenders, able to drop it in the bucket there by Blanton. And, man, all the momentum that was lost because of what Florida did, now it's all back. It's all back.
Dylan Lewis with the reception. Florida brings the blitz, and Denver takes advantage of it, throwing the ball right where the blitz just came from. Michael Goodman with a touchdown reception.
Wow. I mean, how quick after that kick return in 2 plays, Denver back in the end zone once again, and again in the same manner as Florida scored, made it look easy, make it look effortless. I mean, talk about reestablishing yourself in a game with less than a minute to go, and here in the second quarter, you allowed Florida to score a touchdown and come right back, and in essentially 3 plays, you score a touchdown to back up your lead to what it was before. Amazing.
Florida had just taken the sails out of this Denver crowd, and Denver responds after that great kickoff return. Trellis Blanton now a perfect 10 for 10 on the day.
Yeah, and we've talked so much about the running game, especially after that first series, and then Florida's defense seemed to catch up and make some adjustments, and now it's just become the Blanton show, and Blanton has been absolutely lights out. We should, after that, at the halftime, they're going to give him a PhD in accuracy. That's how good he's been.
That's right. 28 seconds left here in the first half, and Florida's going to hand this ball off to our Vanderlei, who gets tackled for a loss of 1.
Yeah, now, look, here's the thing about being a veteran team. Here's the thing about being a championship team. This is not something that you have not seen before. You've been down 14 or more before. It has never been easy. I'm sure it has not been. This is a situation maybe they can get back in this one with some second half adjustments.
Shea Carroll with the reception, but time runs out on this first half. At the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a 24-10 ball game. Denver in firm control of this one. That was a fast-moving first half as well. What do you think it's going to take for Denver to get back, for Florida to get back in this game in the second half?
Yeah, I think it's all about defense. Defense. Florida's defense is going to have to find a stop to the juggernaut that has been the Nightwings offense so far in this game. And at times they've come up big, but we need to see some big turnovers. We need to see time of possession on offense for Florida, try to maybe gain that to take the offense off the field and limit those opportunities for them. And then, look, Florida's offense has some clear work to do. They've seen success against this defense, particularly right there at the end of the second quarter. We're going to need to continue that momentum despite being on the road in Denver and this really hostile crowd that we've seen.
Normally, Florida's defense has carried them through a lot of victories when they had them in their winning season. So to see them kind of get taken to the woodshed like this is a rare sight to see.
Coming into this game, Denver's passing defense was considered one of the lowest in the league, and I couldn't really figure that out just because, man, this team is so good, and it's got 7 wins on the season already, and they're already playoff bound, winning the division. Why would they have, a defense that was considered one of the worst when it comes to pass defense? I think I figured it out. I think we're seeing it here. They're getting up early in these games and forcing the other team to throw more than maybe they wanted to. And now that's kind of stacking and making that ranking look different than it really is.
Our spread here, look, Denver's going to counter with a 4-2 nickel defense. Going to hand the ball off in a strong outside zone, but going absolutely nowhere is Bully Pileski there on the carry. John Martin with the tackle.
Yeah, John Martin named this past week's Defensive Player of the Week here on the starting show here by Mike Dagson and Gerald Smith. And look, like 3 interceptions and a defensive touchdown in the last 2 games.
That
He's
pass
been an
goes
absolute
incomplete.
beast.
Yeah, and guess what? I don't know if you saw, but we got a new person in the chat. Unknown Nev. Not sure who you are, but yo, if you're trying to figure out what you just walked into, if you're new to the SFL, welcome, brother. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simsfl.net. Click the join community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. As Florida, that ball is tipped up after the deflection and picked up by Luis Quintana, who gets his second interception of the day. This Denver defense is playing lights out football.
Yeah, this is a defense that Florida needed coming into this game. Another rollout here. Again, got to the receiver, but again, that bang play knocks the ball out and in midair caught by a defender. So you can't argue that it was a fumble and not an interception. So that secures the ball for Denver. Just great reaction. And man, all the momentum. And man, the fans in the stadium are just going wild. It's all Denver's way, right?
Lucas DeVore knocked the ball out. That afforded Luis Quintana to pick the ball off. Here's that strong outside run again. It's going to be a pickup of 4 yards on the play for Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
And Quintana's the second interception of the game. I mean, we've talked about it, about these linebackers here in the SFL, man. They are just becoming better and better at coverage. We're seeing more and more interceptions coming from the linebacker spot. Boy, that's dangerous if you like the middle of the field as a passer.
Our Joker set versus this 4-3 defense, going to run it off to the strong side. Bailey O'Shaughnessy shrugs a man to the ground before finally being brought down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and just a punishing attack there by the running back. Really, once you get that steam going, he's like a runaway locomotive, man. He has got some power behind that speed. Does a great job of converting, that speed to power and vice versa.
Andrew Francis packing 230 pounds into his 5'11 frame, but not enough on that last attempt to bring him down. And look at this, another power charge and run, but only picked up about 2 yards was Jeremy Mosley.
And that was a great open field tackle, one-on-one, but he still felt like the running back is the one that really gave the blunt force trauma on that hit.
Split twins look, first time we've seen this out of Denver tonight. Florida's going to counter with a 4-3 robber, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy picks up about 3 yards, set up a 3rd down and 4.
Wow,
Unknown Nev's in the game chat asking about how do you get him more involved in this league. You just sit there and watch, brother. Join the Discord, and we'll be free to answer any questions you have for us. 3rd down, Denver. Oh, that ball is batted away. Looking for a receiver, Logan Keel, but great job by the Florida defense to knock the ball away.
Yeah, and that's veteran Evan Carroll, man. And that's a guy, look, Carroll Island out there at times, right? I mean, this is a guy in one-on-one coverage. Again, that oftentimes favors the offense. You had a guy one-on-one with one of these defenders. Not Evan Carroll, the veteran. He's been around too long, knows too much, has made too many big plays in big situations to let that go by him.
That field goal is up and good. Denver extends their lead 27-10. An unknown Nev, brother, please, whoever you are, click on the link simfl.net and hit the community button, and from there you'll get all the details about how to join our Discord and become a member of our family. You can be more than just a player. You can become a coach. You can help run stats. You can even call games. Whatever you want to do. You can be a general manager, even an SFL owner of a franchise. Florida's going to field this ball at about the 2 before finally being brought down at the 28-yard line. They got a lot of work to do.
And one more note for unknown Nev, man. Get in that Discord so you can change your name to known Nev, because that's what.
There you go. That's right. When your friends are watching, you can say, hey, that's me on TV. That's my player.
You got it.
Cover 1. Denver's going to be bringing pressure from one of these linebackers. Also got a safety down in the box. And Florida does a great job of running away from the pressure, picks up 3.
And we're seeing a very distinct difference in running game here. Denver's running game, punishing, physical, able to break that first tackle. Florida struggling in that area because I think this Denver defense is just, as you said, so many people in the box ready and keyed up. Ooh.
Down goes the Florida running back for a loss on a play.
That was Bettis. I mean, he's built like an offensive lineman and went down like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
There you go. 3rd down and 8, quads look. Denver's countering with man-to-man defense. Gonna be play action, rolling out to the weak side. Looks, finds a man for a big 1st down. Florida needed that one to extend his drive.
And I think that's about a mismatch there. And obviously the rollout gives you that extra time. And then he's also running from one side of the field into the other side of the field as a receiver with that speed, with the speed these receivers have. That's hard for any defender to try to keep up with, you know.
Following him across the field, and man, defense is hard. Parker Thomas brings him down. Gonna be a give out to the weak side, and nothing doing as John Martin continues to put his stamp on this game.
I mean, this John Martin's putting his stamp on the league. I mean, this is nothing new. This guy has been doing this for a while and really getting now the recognition that he deserves on helping. I mean, a big part of this Denver resurgence.
I think last season was his best season as a pro, but so far he continues to just develop as a player. And Florida, wow, they need that play. Art Vanderlei on a quick 3-step drop, moves the chains and inside Denver territory.
And this is the thing. I know what the score is, Eddie, but we've seen these kind of plays in this game. I mean, Florida has the playmakers and the coaches to strike very quickly. It's just the Denver defense hasn't allowed that to be consistent, and they'll continue to stuff the run. And they may allow, seemingly they may allow a big play here and a big play there, but they just won't allow Florida to string those consistency plays and those successful plays together.
Ace trips, they're going to run power off to that near side, and Chris Comesack picks up about a yard in the play.
Yeah,
guess who made the tackle?
Yeah, I wouldn't be running towards old number 55 there, John Martin. No. And look, what makes him even more intimidating, those shoulder pads, man.
Yes, big shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah, they're like 1980s type big ladies used to have those shoulder pads and dresses back then.
Could be a give off to the far side of the field, but again, Denver's run defense has been consistent all night long.
We're showing our age, Eddie. We're two old men doing this.
Yeah, I tell you.
We got
T-Roy Gaines
here.
T-Roy Gaines wears those big shoulder pads too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, it's a big dude already.
Yes, he is. Quaz look, that's that same play action look, but this time Parker Thomas, not fooled the second time around, is going to force a punt, looking for twin screw.
Yeah, and I thought, man, if that rollout play works again, I might have to put that in my playbook. That's been working pretty good in this game for Florida, but no, Denver able to sniff that out. And wow, force a punt here real close to potential field goal range. Kind of not his spin.
Gonna punt this ball away, trying to pin him deep, and oh, they almost got it. Unfortunately, the wind carried that one into the end zone here, and Florida trying to pin him deep with their Pro Bowl punter, Marcus Agrippa, but nothing doing. Put too much on it.
Yeah, you expect perfection from Agrippa. He's just been in the league so long.
Yeah.
And and been there forever. But yeah, like you said, I think the wind caught that one a little bit.
Going to be a give to O'Shaughnessy before he's double teamed and brought down. That's a generous spot. They named it 2nd and 5. Wow.
Welcome to home cooking,
I'm
Eddie.
telling you.
Somebody needs to check see if these refs are on the payroll here, man. They've made some questionable calls out here. Get on that, Cam.
A joker said 2 tight ends on the field. Going to be a give to the strong side. Going to force him back inside with a helper's waiting for him. Set up a 3rd down at about 3.
Yeah, and it's it's still not too late. Only down 17 here, but it's still in the 3rd quarter. Now an opportunity. This might be a critical 3rd down here for Florida.
I agree. Looks like Florida's playing 3 robber here, but going to send one of the tight ends in motion off here to the near side of the field. Trying to draw them off sides. They do not, and Florida does a great job of standing this time around and going to force this Denver offense off the field.
And would you believe it's a cornerback who makes the big tackle? Adam Jones.
Adam Jones.
Flashing towards the middle of the field. It's him one-on-one with these running backs who have actually absolutely demolished this defense at times, able to make a big tackle on maybe the biggest third down play for Florida in this game.
Wow. Art Vanderlei, he might want to rethink and call a fair catch next time around. As soon as he brought that in, he was tackled for a gain of about a half a yard, and I'm sure he's going to feel that one walking back to the sideline.
Yeah, they're going to have to put him back together at some of the hits that he took tonight so far. I mean, it's amazing he's still on the field.
For one, Denver's been in this defense all night, playing a lot of man. Going to be a give off to the near side, trying to get around him. Oh, he does, but unfortunately, time runs out. Anytime you're trying to get sideline to sideline, these SFL pro defenses are just too quick. You got to hit upfield.
Yeah, even for the bullet. And look, one of the things we don't credit enough of is the defensive lineman able to get that push on the offensive lineman and push them into the running backs, into those rushing lanes.
Lucas DeVore with the tackle. There's that play I was talking about, but Denver's been all over it. I thought it was going to be a mistake to come out with this cover 1 and cover 0 defense, knowing that Florida loves to run that play, but so far this secondary has held up nicely.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure Denver knows that you can do so much, but sometimes Ron Haynes just going to get his.
Yes. Split jokers on 3rd down and 2. Going to be a short 3rd and 2. Look for the toss. There it is. Get it out there. He easily puts up the 1st down and more. Going to be on the Denver side of the field is Bullet Bolesky with the carry.
And that's why you love the speedy Bullet, right? The guy that can catch that, really catches that toss play just past the tackle, because he's already out there. He's so fast. And then as a defense, you know that they need to get to the 1st down mark. It's so hard to stop unless you got a guy that can redirect very quickly on defense.
Jimmy Mosley, the owner of Denver, saying, hey, I didn't pay the ref. I'm not sure why he made that spot. Going to be a give up to A-gap just to the left of the center, and he grabs him for about 6 yards. Nice bit of running there by, guess who? Bettis.
Yeah, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, dude. Reminds me of a guy that used to play in the NFL named the Bus.
There you go.
A very similar look to that, and a similar play to probably what he used to do back in the day with the Steelers.
Absolutely. I mean, one day he embarrassed Brian Urlacher the way he ran him over on Monday Night Football. Split joker's going to be a toss this time. Ooh. Oh, and nothing doing this. Denver is dialed in on that play successfully, and they're going to set up a 3rd down and 4. Nice tackle out there in space. It's Tank Bennett.
And yeah, Bennett's been doing it for a very long time as well. I mean, goodness gracious, we talked about our veterans in this league. Tank Bennett used to play I remember he played in New Orleans back in the day. And he was a monster back then, is a monster today.
New Orleans, Louisiana. This crowd trying to help their defense off the field. 4-4 defense. Oh, time runs out, and they're going to mark it as a fumble, but it's picked up by one of the offensive linemen here for Florida and bails them out of yet another turnover.
When it rains, it pours, and here it's just that. Oh boy, when we see those quarterbacks bring that ball back down, how many times, Eddie, have we seen that result in either a sack or a fumble like that? And it's just one of those days where if you're Florida, this is kind of the trend that has been going in this game. You know, you got to tough it out. Got one more quarter to go, down 17. A lot of work to do.
SFL Nation, get your 4s up. 27-10. Denver out on top. And Ford's going to punt this one away after that last play. Can Marcus Agrippa pin Denver's defense deep this time? Going to be fielded. Oh, can he get there? No, he cannot. I thought they're going to get a chance to mark him inside the 10, but unfortunately, ball sails inside the end zone.
Yeah, special teams coach probably screaming his head off on the sidelines. If you get an opportunity to maybe catch that ball before it hits the ground, it looked like he might have had the opportunity to do that. Once it hits the ground, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Now, here comes Florida. They're going to be bringing at least 2 on a blitz, cover 0. Going to be a toss out to the strong side. They force him back inside. Great job by this Florida defense to force him back to the help and tackled by Adam Jones.
And look, the last series that Denver had the ball offensively, Florida came up with a big stop. So now they're punting that ball, trying to play the field position game a bit, seeing if the defense can come up with a big 3 and out.
Their defense has played a lot better here in the second half. They just need their offense to make a splash play. Beatty O'Shaughnessy takes the ball out wide, but picks up about 2 yards. Adam Jones with back-to-back tackles.
And now we face a 3rd and 7. Blanton been unbelievable tonight. Unbelievable accuracy so far in this game. And I think they're going to rely on him here. See if we can get him this 3rd down, continue this series.
Denver 5 of 9 on 3rd down tonight. Looking to get another big one here. Going to be a 5-step drop. Surveys the defense, finds no one open, takes off and runs before finally being brought down by Jesus Smith to force a punt.
Now, I don't know if Smith was a quarterback spy on that, but he was absolutely in the perfect position.
Yes, he was.
But once we saw him out there, I think me and you both confirmed, oh, he's not getting this.
Yeah, it was man-to-man, but I think with the tailback being back there to protect the quarterback, he had his eyes on the quarterback for sure. Going to be fielded and spotted at about the 32-yard line as Art Vanderlei. That time he used his head and decided he didn't want to take another hit.
Well, Florida defense stepping up big here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Back-to-back stops. And, man, it's just this offense has been effective enough between the 20s. Needs to start putting some points on the board.
Here it is again, cover 0 by Denver. And if the play coming that I think it is, they have an opportunity to get a catch-and-run situation should they feel they cleanly. If they dial up what I think they are, let's see. No, it's going to be a toss out to the far side there, but they brought a man in motion trying to get traffic away from him, but unfortunately the pulling guard could not make the block he needed to secure that run.
Well, you like the idea, right? That's so many men and so many defenders in the box. You want to maybe toss it to the outside of that and see if you can maybe escape and make them lose contain.
Oh, time runs out, but he gets the ball out to Bolesky, who picks up about 7 yards. Wow, that looked like to be a disaster, but Isaac Covert was quick to recognize the pressure and gets the ball out.
I want to think that's a designed play, Eddie. That's supposed to happen on purpose, but it happened so quick. The defender got penetration so quick, it almost looked like a last-second decision.
Oh, my goodness. Denver almost took that. That's the second time we've seen Florida dial that play up, but Denver has been all over it. And John Martin, again, I mean, he's putting on a defensive game ball performance tonight.
Oh, give a lot of credit to the defensive coordinator. Hatch is right. I mean, they said they wanted to limit those short screen and passes. They wanted to eliminate that, and they clearly found an answer on defense to do so. I mean, look, the answer can't be too hard, right? We say, you know what, we're just going to put John Martin on, and he's going to take care of it for us.
Yeah, absolutely right. Talking to him pregame.
Yeah,
he said he's going to be all over those short passes and screens out of the backfield. He said he spent a lot of time in practice this week preparing for those plays.
It's the bread and butter.
Doubles, look, they've been running power out of this all game. They do it again here, and Florida's all over it. Their defense in the second half has been amazing. They just need their offense to step up and make a few plays.
More than amazing, they've been swarming. They've been swarming to the ball. And that has, I mean, goodness gracious, if we would have saw that at the beginning of this game instead of here later in the second half, this might be a very different score we have right now.
I agree with you. They send a man in motion, and Florida tells going to be a zone defense. 5-step drop, looking down the middle of the field, finds no one up and deep, checks it down to his man Logan Keel, who gets blasted after a gain of about 4 yards. But I like that by Trellis Blanton. There was no one open down the field where he was looking initially. Didn't try to force anything. We have a 17-point lead. Let me just chuck it down and get what I can get and live for 3rd down.
And almost, I broke that first tackle and almost got away with his other receiver came in and had laid a perfect block out for him.
Gonna send Logan Keel in motion to the far side of the field. Gonna be a 5-step drop, looking, sees no one open, takes off with it, picks up what he can. It's gonna be a 4th down and 1. And again, I like that. No one open down the field. You have a comfortable lead. Don't try to force it into something that's not there. Give Florida a short field and live to regret it with an angry coach on the sideline. Get what you can get, punt the ball away, and let your defense carry you home.
That's right. I mean, at this point, you're not necessarily trying to win the game. You're trying to protect the ball. and you want to be secure with that ball. You don't want to give Florida extra opportunities to get back in this ball game.
Our Vanderlei gets the ball out to the 33-yard line, and looking at the total yards between both teams, there's only a difference of 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's just one team being efficient as scorers and one not being efficient. You know, the yardage is there. Again, Florida between the 20s has been fine. It's just that when they've had opportunities to try and get in the red zone, they just couldn't do it. And they've made more mistakes in this game, Eddie. The interception, the fumble that we saw earlier, they've made more mistakes in this game.
It is I'm talking about. Cover 0 again. They find twin screw. They didn't throw it to the receiver. I thought they were going to, but they keep doubting it up. But Denver, I tell you what, their secondary has played absolutely amazing tonight. One-on-one out in the open field to get the man down. With that cover 0 style, if you can make that man break a tackle, it's going to be a foot race to the end zone.
But, I mean, you're talking about dotting your I's as a quarterback to get it through that coverage and making the play. Incredible.
And here it is again, cover 0. Oh, man, in the backfield, they're going to give him a gain of a yard. Another player who's had a great second half for this Denver defense.
Yeah, and continues to do well. And again, there's so many players that have stepped up on this defense. I think the number one thing, maybe the scheme.
Oh, wow. That's a great job picking up. Oh, they're going to go hurry up here. 4:48 left in the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 2, going to roll out away from the pressure. Finds his man and picks up a big first down there. Is Mike Twinscrew. I love it too. Weak spread look. This kind of going to just drop straight back, gets the ball out to Art Vanderlei lined up in the backfield, but the Denver defense was waiting on him. 2nd down and 9. Here comes the blitz. They're going to bring it from the, wow, look at that play by Isaac Covert, recognizing the pressure and getting the ball out. It's only a short completion, but he stays ahead of the chains. 3rd down and 7. Weak eye spread versus this 4-2 nickel. 5-step drop, gets the ball out quick again. Is that Art Vanderlei again? Yes, it is, but he's going to lose yardage this time. 4th down and 9.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough variety in that formation for them. They really stuck to throwing out of the backfield. They're going to try a 52-yarder here.
52-yard field goal from the right hash mark. It is up and right down the middle. There's the distance. He does not. The ball falls short. Ethan Snead unable to get it over the crossbar on this 52-yard field goal attempt.
Well, I was shocked at the yardage they were going for that deep. And I think we both were shocked and that didn't go for it on 4th down with so little time left in this game and needing 17 points. How much of an impact is just 3 points going to get you? But it didn't matter anyway. It didn't make the field goal.
That was his first miss of the season. He was 14 of 14 prior to that attempt. Wayne Jokers, I think this is, they're going to send Bailey O'Shaughnessy up the middle for a gain of 3 yards. 3:43 left and counting in this ball game. And at this point, Denver's just trying to play keep away.
And I think you get a sense of how bad is the spirit broken for an opposing team when instead of going for it on 4th down to try to get in the end zone, they settle for a 52-yard field goal attempt. It's just been like the points they're so desperate for points. They'll even try that here with just over 3 minutes left to get some kind of points on the board.
Joker set, corners playing off. Waiting the 2 seconds left in the play clock to snap the ball. 3rd down and 5 at the gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, I love these uniforms that Denver has come out with there. The blue kind of, angel wings there on their chest and these black uniforms looking pretty slick out there.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Denver's displaying new uniforms tonight. They haven't shown this look all season long.
Hey, you look good, you feel good, you play good.
You play good, that's right.
That's how Dion does it over there.
Destro says it too. Milking this clock, gonna get the ball out, and Wow picks up the 1st down. That's kind of disheartening when everyone knows what you're gonna do and you're still able to execute on 3rd and 6 to pick up a 1st down and keep the clock moving.
Eddie, I have that update for you. The Baltimore-Detroit game. Baltimore is currently up 42-24 here in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes and 7 seconds to go.
Baltimore not going out quietly in their last season here in the SFL. But that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning, ladies and gentlemen. SFL Nation, buckle up. Monday, Cameron Irvine and Charles Doherty are back for the Monday Night Spectacular. This week, the South is on the line when Mexico City and Houston battle for the 22nd time in SFL history. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. The SFL lives on a virtual football network. And look at this run here. You feed the fullback. Sometimes you got to keep the man happy, and they did so as Florida just burned their first time out.
Yeah, that is what we call a physical finisher right there.
Yes.
A guy that can break, that's a goal line, short yardage specialist that can break multiple tackles. And of course, when you can do that, there's some good things that happen after.
Good things happen when you feed the fullback. He's out there blocking for you all game long in a thankless job that many fans don't appreciate. But trust me when I say the coaches appreciate you. As Bailey O'Shaughnessy picks up another first down, and Florida burns their second timeout.
Now, when you're trying to find a fullback, you got to get a guy that loves to block, because that's going to be probably 90% of the job that he does. And so, if he sees his player, he has a great block, man, that's the guy you want to stick with, the guy that loves to block.
They say he feels short of the sticks, so it's going to be 3rd down in inches. Can they pick this up and keep the clock running? Milking that play clock. And Bailey O'Shaughnessy easy picks up the first down and more. Going to be a gain of about 7 yards before finally being brought down, and Florida burns. I thought that was their 3rd timeout. They're saying it's their 2nd.
Well, I think prolonging the inevitable no matter what here. As Denver feels like they've taken the hard running that continues. They've certainly taken their foot off the gas here in the fourth quarter, and realizing look, this is not a team that we want to humiliate in any way. This is the Florida team. They expressed this to it pregame. They have so much respect for this organization, and both of these teams have so much respect for one another. Not looking to blow out anybody or anything like that. Nothing but respect. But boy, I mean, I think a feather in the cap if you're Denver. One of the legendary franchises opposite you here in Florida, needing this win to get them in playoff, knowing how important it is for them to come out with a victory against a quality team and a quality opponent. You got to be really happy.
Got to be, and Trellis Blandon's taking knees on this point out, and that was actually their last time out previously. So this clock is going to tick down. This game is going to come to an end. Denver keeps the fans happy, sends them home with the W to further strengthen their playoff positioning here to end the season.
Yeah, they're getting in some very high territory here, and they've got to have those championship rumblings again. This is a team that 2 previous championships, season 13 and 15, I believe, if I remember right, and they want to get back into that conversation. Boy, some big wins here, and the records that they have right now, they're definitely in the heart of that conversation with the top teams in this league.
Absolutely. They got a tough game versus Washington, who just had an impressive win on the road versus Vancouver here in the previous break of games. Shout out to Washington for getting the job done on the road. But that's going to bring this one to a conclusion. Denver keeps the home winning streak going, 27-10 the final over a 5-time champion Florida. What do you think about this game today? Give me your synopsis of how this game went.
Oh, I think it was a showcase for Denver. I mean, what they were able to do, both on the defensive end and the offensive end, they showed why they are where they are and who they are. And on offense, it ran so smoothly, and they were able to attack a very balanced offense. I'm not sure as a defensive coordinator how to try to stop that. It's probably going to be a catch-22. Maybe you can stop one thing, but not everything they can do. So, man, they're going to make some definite noise in the playoffs, and the defensive scheme was just outstanding, and them anticipating what Florida was going to do, and their film study did not go to waste this week. and absolutely was a big part of this victory. And for Florida, I think it leaves them in a precarious position in their division. Now that they've lost this game, Carolina could actually win the East if they win out and beat Florida next week. Yeah. So this puts the Storm in a very questionable position, and so it has a lot of implications for Florida in this game.
Absolutely. Tough loss for Florida, but the season lives on. Can't give up. As you say, 1-0 every week. But that's going to do it here for us in Denver. For Shabazz Synergy, for Justin Razad doing stats solo, for Cameron Irvine, for all the fans watching at home and on the internet, I'm Eddie Gage, and we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.